Time. If you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Now Wentz on third down. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3 and out. On first down, Ryan. And it's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw is Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Flush to his right. And, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
On third down, Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
He'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Wentz now on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley able to get him for a loss of about 3.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, Wentz looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. The Eagles on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. 23 yards on the play.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is. They passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now it's Ajayi. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. To throw, it's Wentz. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 2. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he spins past him and into space. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, 55 yards. And the Falcons are in for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Now Wentz. And this is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, with us this year. Glad to have him, and we will look ahead to all the action coming up this weekend at intermission, as well as look back on this first half. Wentz now to throw, and the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack, down he goes. Deion Jones. Coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. A very solid gain of 27. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
They'll try to run with a J. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So it's 3rd and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall once more? To throw is Wentz. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Looking forward to joining the crew this year. We'll get back to you guys in Philly in just a moment, but first, let's look ahead to open.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third.
One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now Wentz. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Brooks Reed in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
4 down. Here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They have the lead here. Where we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
This is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest. Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And my goodness, another interception.